I should set this up. Set up the music. Let's do the music. What is it? Where's my... No. Close this. There we go. Stream beats. Stream beats. Jeez, I think that might be a bit too loud. Let me plug it. Okay, hopefully it's better with OBS. Let's see. All right. Hello. Let's dive into this. Hello. How are you? Wherever you may be. Testing. 1, 2, 3. All right. Here we go. Let's jump onto some news. Let's jump onto some news. What do we have this week? Where do we start? I mean, what's the big one? The big one today. Telegram. It's everywhere, all over the news. Let's see, Telegram. Good old Telegram. Oh my God. Pavel Durov. Wow. Where do we start with that? Oh my God. Holiday. Wow, damn, holiday. Not really any holiday. Well, maybe one day. I had one day off, but working remotely in a tropical location was nice. So yeah. Well, yeah. Had a good time to get some absolutely a nice sun and get a tan over one day. Go for a jog, really good. It was nice to really just different. You know, as they say, change is as good as a holiday. So that's it. A change is indeed as good as a holiday. And then I come back. I kind of missed the Monday traveling back, and now. Yeah, let's dive into the news. I mean, normally I would want to just go and dive into something like local or stuff that isn't really being talked about on the news front. But really, this is just like, oh my God, the whole Pavel Durov thing, the whole Telegram thing. I mean, I don't know. Wow, where do we start? Why would he, this smart guy? Why on earth would he go to France? Given the situation, he would absolutely. What I think has happened is somebody told him he'd be all right to go to France, and they basically lied. So what do we have? TechCrunch. What's new on TechCrunch? What are we going to dive into? TechCrunch.com. What do we have, friends? It was not really working. It was just like a business trip on the Friday, and then I stayed for an extra couple of days to catch the sun. So Thursday I had a couple of meetings, and then Friday I worked remotely in the hotel all day, more than I normally would. And then Friday evening kind of was great to just get out and enjoy Maroochydore. But I actually want to do a video on my personal vlog at some point. But what do we have? Anthropic publishes the system prompts that make Claude tick. So one of the amazing videos was the ARC video, the ARC AI, ARC Prize. This one here, 2024, YouTube. If you haven't seen it, this is probably the best video about the problem with LLMs. The ARC Prize on YouTube. Basically, Where is it? It basically talks about the problem with LLMs that they're not going to hit it. They've reached a peak. They've kind of tapered off, and there is no reasoning in them. They basically don't have the ability to form conceptual constructs in a network that they can refer to. They're essentially just, it's like a search engine. The web really of connections doesn't form in a way that makes it good to transfer concepts about one thing to another. So for instance, you don't know what an animal is inside an LLM. It's kind of like you have word connections, but you don't have concept connections. Look, at the end of the day, I think the whole AI industry is like the amount of energy required to perform the competition that was required over billions of years for the human brain to get to where it is now. It's not something we're going to do in a decade. I mean, the amount of energy and time to simulate life and to create that competitive advantage is just like how many billions of years did it take to create these competitive landscapes and then environments, and then the choices and the learning that was made over time. Like, you've got the multiple levels. You have genetic memory, you have the long-term memory stored in the brain in the way that the brain stores information. Then you have like the environmental memory that constantly changes us all the time. Every day we're different. Every few years we kind of shed that kind of the old memories and have new ones. And then obviously you have like the short-term response that you have to communication. The whole idea of a human and robot just seems so pointless. I don't understand like why people are doing that. Oh, no worries, 25th, absolutely. Like and subscribe your channel. I'm okay. Oh, cool. I use ZSH shell. So, yeah. I will jump on your channel, like and subscribe. Absolutely, let's have a look. Channel activity. Go to channel. Subscribers. Do you have any videos? I don't see any videos on your channel. Boom, boom. But Franklin, Apple event was announced. Looking forward to it. Yeah, look, iPhone 16, the Apple event. I am definitely going to be jumping on the onto the Apple event to watch what they're going to do, but I'm not going to be picking up an iPhone 16. I am going to wait till next year, and I'll be picking up an iPhone 17 and the next generation of the new ARM V9 chips. So we've got like, let's see, Sunny Colterra. Yeah, let's check it out. Check out the channel. Copy. Sunny Colterra. Stone Lab, Sunny Colterra. No, don't see anything here. Sana Discourse. No, I don't know. Anyway, Sunny Colterra. It is. Are you talking about? Is that Twitch? Not sure, but yeah. So what's next? So we've got like iPhone 16 coming up. We've got the whole thing with Telegram, AI. My God, look at the front page of TechCrunch. Like, come on, guys, there's got to be more to life than this scam. Come on, AI. Anthropic publishes system prompts. Look, to be honest, I actually had a meeting with a good friend of mine. You may have heard of him. Like, actually, I don't know if he wants me to mention his name, but he was the creator of a game called Flight Control. Right, Flight Control was like this big game it's about 10 years ago. Flight Control Firemint, and we had a catch up, and we were talking about AI. And one of the things, this Flight Control, one of the very first viral games. So when I went to Brisbane, this was one of the meetings that I had, and basically we were just talking about what the future holds, and essentially we both came to the same conclusion. So it's not something that's really that's anything at the moment. And the return on investment looks like it's a long way away. I mean, there might be a few winners, but this is what we were talking about. We're talking about precision. And when you look at the precision of, say, a an object like a picture, right? From if you've got a really, really high resolution picture, you can zoom into it, but then stop zooming, right? Just get like muddled pixels, like blurred pixels, right? Same thing with these models, like they lack the precision to be able to effectively work in a lot of environments. So one of the things I noticed is on a high level, yeah, it makes sense, but as you start digging into the details, the further you go, the more it breaks down. And that was everything from maths to, like, you follow a trail of questions and then it just begins to break down because it doesn't hold the whole scope. And there's only a certain precision that it has. That's the kind of metaphor that we agreed on. So I think the same thing is for LLMs. They're good for a kind of high-level reference point. They're a good search engine in information space. If you know something, if you have something in your head, you go, oh, okay, I need this, then that will work. So, yeah. A hidden AI prompt. You mean they're using, it's just like the rabbit thing again, like where they're just using like prompts to, what does that mean exactly? Interesting. Nice. Okay, yeah, look, 25th. Yeah, look, let's check it out. Come on, let's check it out. It's, what is it? I did search for it. I couldn't find it. 25th. My Sunny Colterra. Yeah, I couldn't find it. Sorry. I tried to search for it on YouTube. YouTube, Sunny Colterra. In one word, right? Sunny Colterra. Sunny Colterra? Terra, double R. Terra. Sunny colon. Sunny Logic. Oh, why isn't it finding it? What if I do... Just share the link, my friend. I'll happily support you. Thanks for coming on the channel. Jump on. So look, again, we've got flight control. This guy is just an awesome guy. You can just read up about who made this, Firemint, who made the game. Awesome, amazing guy. Really enjoyed my time up there in Brisbane catching up with him. But anyway, that's something else. All right, so back to TechCrunch. What do we have here? Elon Musk unexpectedly offers support for California's AI bill. Oh, wow. Okay. More AI. Space. Polaris Dawn will push the limits of SpaceX human spaceflight program. No. Why does it feel like this is like a PR arm for, like, Elon Musk? OpenAI, Adobe, and Microsoft support California bill requiring watermarks on AI content. Well, that's cool. I agree with that. So one of the things Nokia and Sony are going to do also is they're going to have a photo registration chip. So when you take a photo on your camera, it will basically say that this is the original photo. It'll be like a key exchange that you make when you take the photo. So that if you alter it, say you go to Adobe Photoshop or you make changes to it, the actual image will lose that concurrent consistency. It'll be like you've got like a code, a code that is generated inside the image, maybe stenographically integrated, who knows. And basically you take the raw photo, you say this is, you do some data analysis on it, and then you match it with a key, like you do like a hash function, and if it's changed, if there's been any change to the image, then the hash function won't match the integrated hash numbers inside. And then, it'll be like, well, this isn't the original photo that was taken. And that key could be something that's signed, like with a private key on the camera. That could be protected, like a one-way encryption process. So I can see how it would work. And it would be easy then to both, have what the original real images are, and you got watermark for AI images and AI content. That kind of makes sense. Look, to be honest, I sitting on Twitter, like it's just such a slop fest. I don't know what you call it. Like this is just bots. I started my Twitter channel, and I thought I would, actually get somewhere with it, but all I'm getting, like, look at this. This is just out of control. Like, I mean, it's just what is this? You guys check this out. My notifications. I'm arguing with Bob on some politics, so just ignore that. Okay, what's space? All right, so look at the likes. Followed. Look, these are just scam accounts, all of them. All of them. I think I have one follow or two follows. They're all just like, I've got so many followers, but they're all just scam accounts. It's just it's just silly. And we've got, anyway. So let's jump back onto TechCrunch. All right. I wonder if programming is like a recipe, and if by that logic, AI programming is like hallucinating a recipe. Yeah, that's the other thing, like hallucinations. This is the problem with precision, is like when you get down to sort of precision, you don't know when it happens. This is the thing that what was the other guy's name? You had Sam Altman and the other guy, Hutzkova. The other guy. He said the reliability of these models is the paramount thing that you need. And so the moment you lose trust in it, the moment it becomes unreliable, that the whole thing just fails, because you never know when you get to that point when it's unreliable. Like, how do I know? Oh, it's not working now. Why is it not working now? Like, this is where I made some code to do like rotational velocity calculations. I asked ChatGPT to do some of the calculations, and it started working, and then all of a sudden there was some things that just got completely wrong, and that caused me a headache. So after that, I lost all trust in it, and I stopped using it for anything that's precise at all. Just general. What are the steps to do this? What are the steps to do that? But even, and that's it. That's good. Like I've used it less and less for code. ChatGPT Find.com is a disaster. I actually thought it would be a good replacement, but it actually gave me completely incorrect code for Swift. So I stopped using that. I can't ignore you and Uncle Bob when you mention the P word. Maybe I'll take a read, but I promise not to chime in. It's bad vibes. I don't know why he did it. I don't know why I did it. I saw some things like, anyway, we are talking about news, right? So there was a thing on Twitter where some idiot, I think he's an idiot, posted a Australian flag of him in Ukraine. And what? Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? That's just such a bad look in so many ways. Like, you just don't do that. It's just common sense. It's so bad. I have no words. I'm not going to dive into that further. Yeah, the P word. Anyway, dive into Twitter if you want to see that mess. Okay. So, look, I actually have Xcode beta, but I've been so tied up with work that I haven't had a chance to look at any of the AI stuff on Apple. And to be honest, the only thing I can imagine using the AI for would be like sending cute emoji stickers to my wife. That's probably what I'd spend the AI on. But even then, like, I could just go get a nice GIF or get a gift pack. I would more likely prefer to support a gift pack from an artist than AI generated artwork. That's just like, it just feels empty, soulless, I like to say. Yeah, just all the AI stuff feels soulless when it comes to art. Anthropic, Durav arrest boosts Telegram app downloads. Look, I actually never used Telegram, to be honest. Never ever really used it. Maybe when I was in Russia for a while, lived there for 3 years, but even then I didn't use it. We used just use SMS. You use SMS or MMS. I didn't understand the purpose. I mean, you had like certain channels. Like when I was working in a Colab space, they had a channel for the Colab space, and I would go there to check up some news and what they're doing, but that's about it. And then I changed the SMS number and I lost my account, and I was like, okay, I lost all of that. It's like WhatsApp, right? Bit of a beefed up WhatsApp. You know what? Here's an interesting one I found out. This is like the news about in Australia and France, there is a law that says that you need to help police decrypt data if they need it for evidence, and you don't. It's like what is the key disclosure law? How about this, guys? Oh my gosh. Apple CEO, 100% today's tech news. So Apple CEO, that is new. Oh, CFO, yes, yeah, the CFO is gone. I saw that. Yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the key disclosure laws. So look at this in Australia, the key disclosure. I can't believe this. You know, I really am at the point where I'm considering just making my own custom STM32 development board phone with custom encryption connected to a SIM card, and then make it open source, right? What do you guys think about that? Open sourcing a peer-to-peer communication for journalists. You know, so maybe to prevent the kind of use in kind of like the dark web. You know, to have only registered journalists allowed to use it. I don't know. How would you do that if you open source it, right? It's like Pandora's box. It's like yeah. But let's talk about the key disclosure laws. This is from 2001. And I remember working for a company that had traffic data that was encrypted, and they had to decrypt it when police needed it for evidence in car accidents. So they had telematics, right? So you had this thing installed in your car. It would give you information about you know how just driving data, and they would have to disclose information when police came in and asked about an accident. And they had to decrypt it, even though it was protected by privacy and encryption. So access computer data that is evidential material. You know, and interestingly, there is people that are against it because they're saying that, you know, Electronics Frontiers Australia, contrary to the common law privilege of self-incrimination. So common law, if you don't know, is just the law that was the basis for, I think, UK common law. And then the law system in Australia follows on from that. But this seems to kind of go against that. I don't know if you want to block it, right? If you don't want to, you know, you get 6 months penalty, failing to comply. So basically, if you don't decrypt data, you get in trouble. You know, but what if you have like a Bluetooth, you know, what if you have a Bluetooth dongle on you and you have a phone, and if the app loses connection with the Bluetooth dongle, then within 10 minutes it deletes all that data, right? So that protects your privacy. Like if you lose your phone, the app will self-destruct if it's not connected to not near your person, right? And who these days is anywhere away from their phone? I mean, we're all close to our phones, right? All right. Let's dive in next. Guys, thanks again for all you just chiming in here. Good to see you all. You know, we've got we're talking about the Australian key disclosure laws, and in France, key disclosure laws, basically, you know, if France asks, if you're a citizen of France and they ask you to disclose information about certain encrypted information, it's pretty bad. You need to decrypt or surrender keys to make available any information encountered in the course of an investigation. Failure to comply incurs 3 years jail time. So if you do a lot of that, a lot of years add up, because you could have separate charges for each one, right? All right, so we've got that. Next. So that's the key disclosure laws. What about here? We've got CARE government policy. This is US news. Niantic aims to build a richer 3D map of the world with a new version of Scaniverse. So you guys seen the new Apple Map stuff? Apple Map stuff is great. Apple Maps. Apple Maps. Here we go. The new release is apparently looking good. Apple Maps 2024 release for iOS 18. So apparently making huge improvements on that. 18. Here's everything coming to this fall. So this is from June. So it's still a while away, still a while ago. But they have improved things, like they've added hiking feature stuff. I think they're going beyond what Google's doing. To be honest, I think they're really moving rapidly ahead. It's crazy. Like Google's falling behind in a number of areas. Same as Microsoft. Oh my God, I don't know. That's what a disaster that is. There's so many videos about Microsoft being a terrible thing. I think Primogen did a video recently about a guy that was talking about how bad Microsoft is. Trying to slap on AI onto everything just isn't going to work. It's not going to cut the mustard. Niantic. So what is Niantic here? I actually like map stuff. Wow, that's pretty cool. So you can actually capture, process, and share information. So it does 3D generation, 3D map of the world with a new version of Scaniverse app. I wonder if someone's going to buy these guys. Niantic is releasing a new version of its Scaniverse app to let users capture objects around them with more details. Scaniverse 4 allows users to capture places and objects in 3D through a Gaussian splatting technique. So if you don't know about Gaussian splatting, there's plenty of it that's out. It's a recent technique used to create a 3D rendered space based on some kind of dot points. I'm not exactly sure how it works. These days I'm looking a lot more at embedded development, so it's still interesting, right? Company acquired Scaniverse. So I actually got a project that will be kicking off soon, I think, with C#. So as much as I would love to dive into Go, it looks like it's going to be C# and Unity. Swift, Swift, I love it. I love to hate it. I just know it so well. I can code it with my eyes closed. Python's good. I have to jump back on the C# bandwagon. And look, to be honest, C# is the same kind of language as Swift. Same thing. It had async await long before Swift did. Anyway, back to this. So, building rich 3D map players. Okay. For the past several years, Niantic has tried to build a rich 3D map of the world by asking players of its games Wayfarer, Ingress, and Pokemon Go. Okay, that's right. Now I know where I know Niantic from. They built Pokemon Go, scan different places and earn. So they're like doing data collection, right? And collecting photos from around the world and plunking them in, it's just some data set that's going to be bought up by, Apple Maps and Google Maps. There's no real competitor, really. I mean, you've got Waze, I think, but that's, yeah. Waze, I think, is a bit different. I think that's traffic. Niantic said it automatically blurs faces and license plates. Yeah, that makes sense. Company already offers real-world location data through its post-visual positioning system. Wow. What does that mean? Does that mean that you can take a photo and it would know where it is? What does that mean? VPS, visual positioning, or is it just because of it's got GPS? And it just adds the GPS coordinates to the image. With a new scanning technique, it plans to offer richer data to developers. It believes that Scaniverse users, primarily XR I think is augmented reality, content creators, and 3D photography enthusiasts will help the company build a new visual map. I think they tried 3D photography and VR photography with Canon a few years ago, and it didn't go anywhere. I wonder if it's going to make any difference now. Is anyone here actually using the headset, the VR headset? For the Apple Vision Pro? Company also plans to integrate this data to power experiences in its own games where virtual characters can better interact with real-life objects. Look, one of the reasons I haven't made a game again is I have felt like it's like, having people sit down in front of the computers playing games. To me, I'm really into fitness and health. I feel like I need to follow my values, and if I'm creating a game for people to sit there, that goes against what I'm suggesting people should do, and try and spend less time in front of the screen and get exercise and do all that kind of stuff. So I like this idea that people can go out with their phones and create these kind of quest games with a phone in the real world. Getting people outdoors, fresh air, exploring places, visiting new places. I'm all for that. The price tag is a bit much, isn't it? The price tag is indeed a bit much. I actually went to an Apple store here in Australia a few weeks after it released, and I asked them, how are you guys selling these things? How's the sales? And they said, it's good. So I don't know, they're not going to really tell me, oh, it's terrible. Maybe they would if, but it seemed like they were quite enthusiastic about the number of sales. There was one guy that was really for it. Like there's this inspector, like a home inspector. And basically what he does, he goes around and inspects the construction work of homes. His channel is called Site Inspections. And basically he used the Apple, oh God, mental blank. The Apple VR headset. Let's see. It's like a special computing headset. See, it's so not relevant that I don't even remember I can't even tell you what it's called right now. But anyway, he used it for about 2 weeks and then stopped. And all his videos since then have not basically had it. So it just goes to show that someone who was initially super enthusiastic of it was using it for their job to improve their work, like live, like they would use it to see construction and also have files open so they could check. They decided not to use it. They stopped. Yeah, so look, it just says a lot about this product and where it's going. I know with the Apple Watch, I've got an Apple Watch. I'm going to keep using it. It's the only thing I use it for is really health, running, and heart rate measurements. So, what's next? We have iPhone 16 event for September with... Okay, let's check it out. Like, this is the big news, right? iPhone 16. I do a lot of app devs, so this is definitely relevant. Okay, they're going to unveil the iPhone 16 lineup. I think it'll be the same thing. It'll be... I think, you have an iPhone Pro, and iPhone Pro Max. I think I used to go for the Pro, right? iPhone Pro. This one here. So basically, I actually feel like this one is still enough for me. I don't use it for photography anymore because I've got cameras. I'd use it for chatting. I've got the iPad Pro also, which I haven't upgraded. I just don't see a reason. In fact, I feel like I could just use a standard iPhone. I might even downgrade it next year. Who knows? iPhone 17 instead of iPhone 17 Pro. It's just, I know that if it's your one device for everything, if you're taking photos and videos and all that, and you're using your phone a lot for that, then maybe the Pro and Pro Max make sense. But for me, I avoid using it. As always, rumors about the event will include have surfaced over the past few weeks. For instance, reports suggest the iPhone 16 lineup will include larger screens for the Pro models. The Pro Max is just so big. I mean, do people actually call like this anymore? I don't remember the last time I actually called someone like this anymore. I actually use it just like this. Like, talking to someone here with a phone in front of me. So, I don't really hold it up to my head. In the car, you just plug it into CarPlay and you talk like that. So I guess it could make sense if you have new screens. I like that it's small so I can use my thumb to press anywhere. Bigger screen. I tried the bigger screen for 1 year and I didn't like it, so I went back to the Pro from the Pro Max. Possible the event could include new Apple Watch Series 10. I am thinking of maybe getting the new AirPods this year. We'll see. The phones are expected to support Apple's full suite of AI features. Yeah, see, look, I don't see the point of the whole AI thing, really. I mean, I looked at some of the intent code, so if you're into AI stuff and you know what is going on, you have the AI, you have the intents. So Swift developer app intents. It's intents, app intents, right? So the next generation of this will, I believe, provide information from a source like a model. LLM that feeds information into your app, and you can try and decipher it and then act on it based on the tokens that are given. You can ask, I hope, it's like widget, interacting with widgets. You have app intents, making actions and content discoverable and widely available, right? So that's the idea. Adopt intents to make your app discoverable with Siri. Hopefully you guys see that, make it bigger there. Adopt intents to make your app discoverable with Siri and Apple Intelligence Spotlight controls. So basically, you talk to Siri and it gives an app intent. It sends an app intent to your app, and then you will respond to that app intent. Ecosystems are a big thing. So if you have an ecosystem, right? If you're like a brand and you have like an ecosystem with various devices, smart homes, this would be good. Like turn off a light, you'd want it that. Turn on a light. This kind of bypasses a lot of the hard work. So you could even do it through your HomePod. We've got a HomePod here. We use it to play white noise when our daughter's sleeping. That's about it. So that's it. All right, guys. Back to iPhone 16 launch. In addition, it's likely Apple will make iOS app Sequoia, WatchOS, and other operating systems. I've had one app update for iOS 18 that I had to make fixes, and if you know anything about developing apps and having web viewers in the apps, there was an old thing called the UI WebKit, and it's changed to WK WebKit. basically UI WebKit was basically crashing. WebKit View was crashing the app. It just didn't work anymore, unsupported. So basically replaced it. It took about it took a few hours, tested it, make sure it works, rather resize things, and that's it. That was the iOS 18 support update. I still have to do the new Android 5, Android 15. What is the new Android version? Android version release 2024. Which one is it? Android 15? Yeah, Android 15. Official news coming. When will it be out? I do need to... Okay, it's beta 1, April 22nd. So it will be soon. 5 days ago, beta 4.2. So they actually spent a lot of time working on this, hey? Since March. So yeah, I do need to test this on my Android apps. Yeah, absolutely. Like, if there is a client that I've got, like a major client where I do most of the work, and they have a BLE device connection, and I have suggested that in future we could do the work to do app intents for them, that would be really cool. I think that's like part of the ecosystem. That really, the code for that app is just super clean. I'm really proud of it. So yeah, I would love. It would be easy to integrate app intents with that. You could feed it into use cases that would just execute functionality. It would just work. Good architecture. You can create another, say, have some form of input like a service, and the service would then push information to the use cases from the service. Like you'd have listeners. In the same way, you have a service like a BLE service that has a communications channel to the use cases. You do the same thing with this kind of app intent service. It would give the intents to the use case, and the use case, I know what that is. I will do this. I will turn this on. I'll turn this off. I will change this. La-di-da-di-da. Oh yeah, Swift UI. Oh yeah, how do we do it? We did that recently. We just wrote a UI. What was it? We did that not long ago. Built a web view using, where was it? I probably can't show you the code because it's like, no, I don't own it. But I can tell you how it works. We created the WB WebKit view, and I think wrapped it in just a UI view representable. And then you could just fill out. Like, it was actually a bit easier because we didn't have to do, it was just took up pretty much the whole space except for our navigation bar. And you could actually pass in parameters like lock-in areas, so it wasn't difficult at all to add it. But it's funny that SwiftUI just doesn't support it yet. I think Swift 6 is another big one, man. Oh man, I think a lot of people are annoyed. I mean, I've tried it. We set it up for one project, Swift 6. One of the reasons I did my Swift is a mess video was just because I tried, actually no, it was before that, but there was just so much going on with this whole sendable thing. We tried to use Swift 6. Two things didn't work. One was our r.swift package system doesn't work. r.swift doesn't work with the way the projects that we build, the way that we build them work. So basically we couldn't upgrade r.swift. We'd had to replace the whole asset generation system for it to work. And it's been broken for a couple of years. Like, people know of the issue, but they can't fix it. So yeah, r.swift is holding back the upgrade to Swift 6. But then I did just a build with it just to see what other errors were there, and it was just a bit. What I find is that there's so much excess syntax that doesn't add to clarity. It actually just all the excess syntax that we found for Swift 6 was adding more noise than it was adding value, and it didn't seem like there was any. We've got, like, in our concurrent processes, we have one state, right, and we feed all the data through like a synchronous feed. So if you make changes, you have to wait in a queue. So you can't actually cause problems. We have like our own little state management. It's like our own little actor, but we couldn't make it an actor because actors don't play nicely with Combine, and we were using Combine for that. There was just all kinds of weird problems trying to carry values out of the actor and in. And we just leave it with dispatch queue. We had a dispatch queue with a lock, right? And so it's it. It was like one, two extra lines, and it was just easy to manage. There is no compile time checks for it, obviously, so that's the good thing about Actors. You get compile time checks. But because we know that all of our concurrent data comes to this one point, it's really easy to manage. All right. So that's the other thing, right? So like you're giving the compiler so much power that it's the complexity. How it is? I keep saying the complexity of the concurrent models, right, and how they work with the syntax expresses the complexity of concurrency in and of itself. So you have this complexity in the syntax, which 99% of people just don't care about because most of the work is concurrent. Like, who builds highly performant concurrent apps? Like, you know, in video games, you have entity component systems that might run, but you don't need the compiler to tell you in those cases. And I don't know. You've got Rust. Rust is also an extremely complicated language because it tries to do concurrency in a compiler, and I don't know. I think there's a line, right? I think you can go too far. I think you can be too safe, right? You can be too safe, and you can be not safe enough. C, okay, you've got a lot of things that you could do wrong. You could go wrong in a lot of places, and that can cause you trouble. I really would love to dive into Zig, but look, time is time. Time is time. Yeah. It's really C. You had trouble linking C with Swift Package Manager. Interesting. Like I know when like building libraries and linking libraries is not too difficult. I think I had a project here, but yeah, like I found that was pretty easy. But I've never actually used C libraries with SwiftPM. Like, how would that work? Like, you would have a C library in a package, and then but you would have like what would you call a bridge? You'd have like a bridge to just call those C functions in Swift, like a header. Like you would wrap you would wrap it in Swift, like a nice Swift wrap, nice Swift cupcake, and inside that cupcake is a nice juicy, maybe a donut, not a donut man, but the analogy. So more of a walnut. Crack the walnut. Maybe you got the nice C walnut inside the hard Swift shell. So you kind of wrap it in that. Yeah, I know, man. I'm so sorry I haven't had these streams. It's like, yeah, things happening. I really want to keep going with these streams. I'm really just getting into it. Thanks for coming back. Yeah, good to see you, mate. It is indeed been a month too long, and I've got another one tomorrow, which will be coding. Let's see what else we've got in the news. We were talking about mostly. Let's see. I wonder if there's anything in Hacker News on Y Combinator. Sometimes I check this to see if there's anything interesting. Erasure coding for distributed systems. Doku. NSA releases 982 Grace Hopper lecture. Interesting. What is that? Future possibilities. Data hardware. Captain Grace Hopper. What is this? National Security Agency. On the 26th. This is pretty new. This was like yesterday. The National Security Agency released a digital copy of a videotape lecture. Future possibilities. Data, hardware, software, and people. This lecture highlights technological foundational principles, value perspectives on leadership, and shared experiences overcoming challenges in computer science and math. The legacy of Rear Admiral Grace Hopper continues to echo across the intelligence community to light the path for women in STEM. Yeah, sure. Cool. That should be worth checking out. I think I've heard the name Grace Hopper. Good on her. Be interesting to see what she'll say. Anything with the NSA sounds like an interesting topic. No. Package.swift. At the top level, at the package manifest, there is CXX and C-linker settings. It's kind of hidden. No, I haven't. Yeah. I haven't package.swift. No, I haven't done anything with C and C++ with package.swift, to be honest. I wouldn't. I would just wrap it in a library and put a bridge on it. Yeah, it's just so much easier. I did that for a compression library back in the day. We had a key exchange algorithm we wanted to use for BLE lock. And basically, we had we get like C code for encryption, and they had a steganography library in it. It was open source, so we basically packaged it up. I had this really amazing, basically the encryption was like this. You had different hash functions, and the hash function would be chosen based on the seed. And so when you built the end result, you had to it was just multiple hash functions generating different cryptographic blocks. And so when you try to decrypt it, you would not only decrypt the order of the hash functions and all this kind of stuff and the actual keys inside. It was multi-key kind of thing. Super cool system. I guess it just made it harder to crack, really. That project was now this. Veru. Veru.com.au smart locks. So yeah, that's these guys. The Ross company in Victoria made this. Rosslock smart locks. I have the app. Wow, that's cool. They actually have a digital. This is new. Turn your padlocks electric by utilizing our smart core. That is interesting. That's cool. Yeah, these guys are doing pretty good. They're in this guy's called Ross-Locks, I think. Yeah, there they are. Veru. Nice, good on him. I worked on that project for about 2 years. Really, it was one of the things that made me fall in love with Bluetooth, BLE, IoT. It's just so cool to work in that kind of environment. I'm still friends with the guy that got me on the team. He works at Bosch now. So this Apple Maps. We've got key intents. What else? Try Kotlin multi-platform for iOS. Look, I've tried almost every single multi-platform system out there. I haven't tried Kotlin, and honestly, I would always prefer native. I mean, even Unity, for games, I would rather write a native game. It's just you just have so much more fidelity, and I feel like you're compromising so much with the multi-platform. Not only that, is Apple by design will do anything in its power to prevent other companies creating these multi-platform systems where they subvert Swift in the underlying system for Swift. For instance, you can, for multi-platform, I haven't seen how people in Flutter do widgets. You can't do the widget thing. I don't know where. Last time I checked, you couldn't do Apple Watch apps. I don't know if you can now, but last time same as React Native. React Native, you can do an app, right? Like a web app style app that just has views and transitions, things like that. But if you're good at native, you're always going to have a more performant, more fluid application. Anything that sits on another layer of abstraction is going to have the same result. I mean, the only other outcome is that you build a custom executable on, Kotlin is a it's a bytecode language, I believe. I have to check how that converts, but it compiles into Java. And that runs, JVM, all that kind of stuff. So it's really really a lot of overhead. So I don't think Kotlin is a good solution, in my opinion. It's a great language. I love Kotlin as a language, but in terms of performance solutions, I think I prefer Swift for iOS to create better apps. So yeah, well guys, I think for now I'm just going to wrap up. Lots of talking about different things. Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. And I'm going to dive in on another stream tomorrow to kick off just some coding stuff. I don't know. I was wanting to do some stuff in Go, do a linked list in Go, just as an experiment. But given the amount of stuff that's coming up, I think I might jump back onto doing some C# stuff. coding some temporary C# stuff. That animal detection stuff that I was doing is gone pretty quiet. Just not able to get that off the ground yet. All right, guys, thank you for joining in. If you want, come in tomorrow. I'll see you then. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Bye. See ya.